Welcome to the Spirit Gathering teleconference. Today is Tuesday, April 20th, 2021, and my name is Sally Ekaireb. The topic this evening is expanding our perception of divine order in these present times. We are so glad that you've joined us. We are recording this call so that people who could not be here tonight can listen in. Please either mute your phone's button or use the *6 to mute your line to help keep the line quiet. When we have time for discussion, you can use that same process of the mute button or *6 to unmute and then remute yourself. This evening, we're going to be using a conversation council format, which suggests that while people can speak at any time that the forum is open, we take care to let the current speaker finish before we start. So let's take a moment now to get settled, to center ourselves, to let go of the events of this day, and begin to enter the deeper sacred space within ourselves. Now let us imagine that we are joining together, sacred heart to sacred heart, with every other person on this call right now. And let us imagine that we are joining together in a circle with a light or flame or fire in the center. Imagine a spoke of light coming from the center of the circle to your heart. And for each person on the call tonight or listening in after, now we are connected, sacred heart to sacred heart. Let us now set our intentions. We listen to one another with compassion and curiosity. We ask for what we need and offer what we can. We deepen our connection with one another and the divine. May this sharing serve us, our communities, and the planet. And so it is. So I'd like to start this evening with just a brief check-in so that we can acknowledge who's here and just give a brief sense of how you are at this time. And I'll go first so you can get a sense. This is Sally Ekaireb, and I'm joining the call from Weaverville, North Carolina, and I'm very happy to be here. It's been a beautiful day in the mountains here, and I'm grateful to be with you all, and I'm putting down the stick.
Hello, Catherine, picking up the stick, calling here from New York City. Very much like Sally, I'm in the same mode of operation. I'm working very hard at decluttering my apartment, and I'm grateful as well to be with you all, putting down the stick.
And this is Laura. I'll pick up the sticks. I'm also in New York City, and I've also been doing decluttering, so it's a good time for it. I'm feeling a kind of a wave of hopeful energy, opportunity, kind of underneath the surface, under all the chaos on the surface level. So I'm enjoying that and curious where it will go, putting down the stick.
This is Diane in Annandale, Virginia, outside of D.C. I'm happy to be here and delighted for such a beautiful spring day. And I'm putting down the stick. Thank you.
This is Veronica in New York City. It was a glorious day. Wonderful to be out. And I am in a transition of decluttering my mind and decluttering chaos and decluttering quite a few emotions and feelings that had been holding me back, and they're drifting away and stepping into a brand new state of more comfort and certainty. And I put down the stick.
This is Ayana Phyllis. I am picking up the talking stick. I am in New York City. I am a friend of Veronica. And I am letting in the good around me and not blocking it. That is my intention. And I put down the stick.
Thomas Ayers here in Larchmont, New York. I am awake and ready, and I am complete.
Thank you. And I think that completes our circle of people that are present. And I also want to invite people to allow space in this virtual circle for those that will check in later and listen to the call, and invite them to be here with us in spirit now as well. So this evening, we're focusing on expanding our perception of divine order in these present times. As we move through this time of great transition, we are called to remember that we are one with the ever-present life force, love. Last month, we came together as a group and shifted our perception to feel into our lives with the trust that all is in divine order. Holding this perspective allows us to be free of fear and anger and to live in a state of grace. In this evening's spirit gathering, we will again transcend into the silence, the divine flow of the greater oneness. When we do this, we are better able to shift our perspectives to a more encompassing consciousness. Holding this expanded vision, one is invited to embrace trust in the all that is, and a sense of divine order that enfolds a greater totality. Our program includes several meditations. The first meditation will offer you the opportunity to bring love and light to any situation you choose in your personal life Then we will expand the energy to any family or community situation. And finally, we will expand our consciousness and our transmission to embrace any world situation that calls to you. As spring has been awakening here in Western North Carolina, I can feel the flow of life expressed through nature. The increasingly warm days draw me outside to work in my garden, clearing away the dead leaves and pulling out the invasion of new weeds. The earth gives me sustenance, and the resilience of the planet and the plant and animal life gives me hope. I sense hope for my future and for the future of the world at large. For as I behold the beauty and perfection of God's creation surrounding me, I work in a state of inner quiet, and a positive energy erases the cares and worries of my life. The illusion of daily reality fades from my consciousness as I become absorbed in nature. As the seasons change, so do the birds visiting my bird feeders on my back deck. Bluebirds are always a welcoming sign of spring's arrival. Yet recently, I had another new addition, a large black crow. He actually came back this afternoon after I wrote this piece. And when he comes to eat, he makes his presence known. Not only does he eat at the feeder and on the deck, but he pauses and perches on the rail and views the area. Once or twice, he looked in the window and our eyes locked. Having worked with animal medicine cards, I sensed that his arrival and visits were bringing a message to me. So today I looked up the crow energy medicine, and I want to share it with you. This comes from the medicine cards, The Discovery of Power Through the Ways of Animals, by Jamie Sams and David Carson. If crow medicine appears, you must pause and reflect on how you see the laws of the Great Spirit in relation to the laws of humanity. Crow medicine signifies a first-hand knowledge of a higher order of right and wrong than that indicated by the laws created in human culture. With crow medicine, you speak in a powerful voice when addressing issues that you see out of harmony, out of balance, out of whack, or just unjust. Human law is not the same as sacred law. More so than any other medicine, Crow sees that the physical world and even the spiritual world as humanity interprets them are an illusion. There are billions of worlds. There are an infinitude of creatures. Great Spirit is within all. If an individual obeys Crow's perfect laws as given by the Creator, then at death he or she dies a good medicine death, going on to the next incarnation with a clear memory of his or her past. Crow is also an omen of change. Crow lives in the void and has no sense of time. The ancient chiefs tell us that Crow sees simultaneously the three fates, past, present, and future. Crow merges light and darkness, seeing both inner and outer reality. In seeing what is true, you may need to weed out past beliefs, or ideas to bring yourself into this present moment. Contrary Crow speaks to needing to remember that divine law is not judgment or denial of felt truth. Divine law is honoring harmony that comes from a peaceful mind, an open heart, a true tongue, a light step, a forgiving nature, and a love of all living creatures. Honor the past as your teacher. Honor the present as your creation. And honor the future as your inspiration. There's more contained in this book, and it also describes Crow as the shape shifter. So you may find it of interest to read at some point. And before we move into our meditations, I would like to open the forum in case anyone has anything they want to share about this, and perhaps the message of Crow medicine speaks to you, or perhaps there is something else about your perception of divine order that you wish to share about.
Catherine picking up the stick, using the crow metaphor as a way to experience the larger order, the divine order. I live on Broadway facing the elevated subway, and the river is just beyond that. And the seagulls come very close to my window. Sometimes they come and sit on the edge of my window, and I very often feel that they are telling me exactly what you are describing, putting down the stick.
This is Diane. Thanks for sharing, Sally, picking up the stick. I love that the crow came today when you were preparing this, and your eyes locked. I love the way you described it and the energy that's around all that and all that that means. So thank you for sharing. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thomas here. I've been feeding birdies on my window for approximately 40 years now, and have had crows for years, and they usually show up in the morning right about sunrise. They love peanuts, amongst other things. Also cat food. So, caw. And I am complete with that crow magic.
Okay. Thank you all. So the past year has been challenging for most of us. The ongoing threat of COVID-19 has awakened fears about our health, our safety, and our financial stability. Social and political polarity has intensified the disharmony in many communities and extended to the world at large. In this unfolding of life, we have a choice. We can choose to be drawn into the illusion, the drama of fear, anger, or a myriad of other thoughts and emotions. Or we can shift our perception and experience life with the trust that all is in divine order. Holding this perspective allows one to be free and live in a state of grace. Now I would like to take time for all of us to use meditation to unite our energy and expand our experience of being in flow and alignment with the greater oneness. We will do this in 3 segments. First, we will take about 10 minutes to focus our attention on any situation in life that has been of immediate concern. Then we will reject the belief that we have, when we reject the belief that we have to control, manipulate, and conquer the situation, we are able to perceive that everything is in divine order, for Spirit is always present and in control. Ultimately, an outcome that will be to the greatest benefit for all will be revealed. We need only speak the truth and respond to what is called for. No matter what form the outcome takes, it will be good. To begin, we will take a few minutes to silently explore and reflect on the thoughts and feelings that do not serve us. As you identify them, let them go. Take the energy of these worries, and you can visually plant them at the base of your favorite tree or pour them into a large body of water. So now silently repeat after me as I evoke the fourfold invocation so that we can shift our focus on whatever your personal situation is and feel into divine order, the flow and alignment that is always present. It may take a few minutes to reach this silence, the expansive state, and the higher flows of energy. That is fine. Continue to perceive that all is in divine order and release the fear-based possibilities that depict a lesser outcome. I will call us back when it is time to complete this segment. So first, connect with yourself, that point of inner balance, the place you know as being at home. Connect, too, with the physical core of the earth. Then connect with a trio of angels, guides, teachers, however you perceive them. And from that space, silently repeat after me. I call forth divine love and light. I open to divine love and light. I receive divine love and light. I am divine love and light here and now. Good. So we can start to come back. And yet I would like to repeat the same process. This time, let's take a larger issue. So as we're still somewhat in those energies, think of something that affects more than your personal life. Something that concerns you about your workplace or what is happening in a community. It could be your community, the city, or the state you live in, or it could be in another state that calls you. And here I wrote this last night. Perhaps you are called to focus on the Derek Chauvin trial and racial tensions in Minnesota, or a specific political issue in your community. Allow yourself to acknowledge the thoughts and worries that arise from the mind. Release them to nurture a tree or a body of water. For our thoughts are just energy. And continue to allow this pattern of release as thoughts will naturally come into consciousness. Now silently repeat after me as I evoke again the fourfold invocation so that we can shift our focus on the situation and feel into the ever-present divine order, the sense, the flow, and alignment. Then reflect again on the situation while consciously being in tune with the flow and alignment of divine order. Allow yourself to notice if you have greater clarity of perception and perhaps possible outcomes that you had not perceived previously. I will mind the time, and I will let you know when we are ready to proceed to the next stage. So again, connect with yourself, that point of inner balance, the place you know of as at home. Connect too with the physical core of the earth. Then connect into the heavens and the trio of angels, guides, or teachers, however you perceive this. And from that space of connection, repeat silently, I call forth divine love and light. I open to divine love and light. I receive divine love and light. I am divine love and light here and now. Good. So begin to come back now. And let's take a moment. And if anyone would like to share about his or her experience of the meditation to this point, we can do that.
Catherine, picking up the stick. The meditation so far has helped me focus on an issue here in the community that is problematic and questionable and has a lot of ramifications. And the meditation has allowed me to focus on that and weigh the pros and cons of the situation, putting down the stick.
Wonderful. I feel there's been a great flow of energy going out, and it, for me, has allowed for a lot of just very positive images and thoughts in the topics that popped up relating to my topics. The one for the second segment was relating to the police authorities in Asheville, where there's been, as you might imagine, being from the South, a number of issues after the Black Lives Movement. And actually, they had a huge number of officers that just resigned. So I feel that it's very positive to get this light and love just pouring into that situation. So let us now repeat the same process one more time with an even larger issue, something that affects a huge community. It could be the political polarities of these times, racial and other social inequities. It could be COVID-19 and the issues that surround that, or perhaps climate change and global warming. Again, identify the thoughts and worries that operate from the mind and release their energy to nurture a tree or contribute to a body of water. So please silently repeat after me as I evoke the fourfold invocation. With this shift in consciousness, reflect again on the situation you have chosen, and I will mind the time. Let's connect with yourself, that point, spin, or balance, the place you know at home. Connect, too, with the physical core of the earth. Then connect with a trio of angels, guides, and teachers. From that space, repeat silently, I call forth divine love and light. I open to divine love and light. I receive divine love and light. I am divine love and light here and now. Good. So now we're going to close the meditation. Come back. Release the energies. Allow this flow to continue. As Spirit sees fit. And we will move towards checkout. And what I'd like is for each person to share about anything they'd like relating to the meditation, and at the least to leave a comment on what they're taking in their heart and their mind as they leave the call this evening. So would someone like to start?
This is Diane. I can start. Hi, thank you for that lovely meditation, and thanks to everyone on the call. The energy was beautiful in all three segments and just kept getting bigger, and it was just so nice to be connected. I was really floating at the end, and so I'm leaving with gratitude and peace. Thank you.
Thomas here. My word too is gratitude. Thank you.
Catherine, picking up the stick. All of my angst over the situation that's happening here in the community, I've been able to dissipate that energy and weed out any past thoughts that I'd had in order to create a peaceful mind and an open heart. And as you said, Spirit is always present and always in control, and I'm giving it up to the Spirit to take control, putting down the stick.
And this is Laura picking up the stick, and I'm leaving with a sense of upliftment in the energy and possibilities for positive developments that might be even out of the box. And thank you for beautiful meditations and bringing us this inspiration. Thank you. Putting down the stick.
So I just want to share that for me, the energy built with each segment. And as I'm sure some of the other people on the call who are familiar with the golden ball energy, I was accessing that for these sessions. And on the last one, I took the topic of COVID-19. And instead of needing to stimulate the energies, it just literally went into full effect. And it was amazing because I felt like I was floating in these energies that were so strong in just trying to work in harmonizing and dissipating and transmuting the fear and other kind of elements that have been creating disharmony for us in our lives. So I am going to be leaving with that feeling of integration and transmutation. And I believe we have one more person. Would you like to check out too? This Phyllis?
So this is Ayana Phyllis picking up the stick. I think we have another person too. So, yeah, I'm going to take this energy with me. I was a little tired, so I was zoning out a little bit, but I'm going to stay in this high place and keep the energy with me. Thank you. I'm putting down the stick.
This is Veronica. I pick up the stick. Something has really just transpired for me. I have no words for it, but I'm in a very different place. I'm going to continue holding this, and I'm going to listen to our meeting again because something just uploaded with me. Thank you so much. I put down the stick.
Thank you all for participating. So thank you all. And in closing, I'd like to thank you for joining us for the Spirit Gathering teleconference. The call will be archived as an MP3 at www.tzaddi.org. Phone access to the recording of this call is available until next month's call. For playback of the recording, dial 712-432-1085. Access code 990322. We hope you'll join us for our next Spirit Gathering on Tuesday, May 18th. These calls are hosted by Tzaddi, an interspiritual metaphysical organization founded in California in 1964. Tzaddi welcomes, nurtures, and supports people in celebrating and more directly experiencing their relationship with the loving presence of the divine. Our programs are open to people of any race, color, or national or ethnic origin. Visit www.tzaddi.org to learn more, including a full calendar of events hosted by Tzaddi members. We will now close with thanks and a blessing. Thanks to Tzaddi founders Amy Keyes and Dorothy Blackmere. Thanks to all of you who have been part of our community tonight. And thanks to the divine who supports us always, even when we are not aware of it. Thomas, would you like to offer the blessing?
May the divine bless you and keep you. May the divine make its face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the divine uplift its countenance within you and give you peace.
Amen.
Thank you. And so I wish everyone a good night and a good month, and we hope to see you in May.